It's only complicated until your agent explains it like this. I'm Danielle Kearns. I'm a realtor with RE/MAX Peninsula in Hampton, West Virginia, and here's what I tell you if you were my buyer client. First, what are we shopping for? I'm not the only person on your team during this process. You're also gonna have a lender that's gonna help you understand your budget and your buying power. So your lender is step one. They're gonna look at all of your finances and they're gonna help you understand what you can afford. You're gonna relay that information to me, your realtor, and then I'm gonna help you find some homes that fit in that criteria, along with everything else you're looking for: size, bedrooms, bathrooms, location, all of that. Then comes the first documents that you're gonna sign with me. Document is an agreement that you and I are home shopping buddies and you're not gonna go shopping with anybody else. It also clears up commissions and fees. Most brokerages have an admin fee, and we decide how I'll get paid for helping you. This paperwork will lay out the percentage of the sales price that I will get paid by the seller. But now it will also note if the seller is not paying commission, what percentage of the sales price that you, the buyer, would be responsible for. If you can't afford to pay, or if you're not allowed to pay per your loan requirements, then we'll only look at houses where the seller will cover that for you. Once everything is agreed there, then we get to house shop. That's the fun part. We're gonna go tour houses, we're gonna figure out what you do and don't like, and what you're really looking for. When you find the house that you love, then you get some more paperwork. We fill out a purchase agreement, a home inspection agreement, some disclosures and summaries of your rights, and we're gonna submit all of that to the seller and their agent. If the seller agrees to everything, then they're going to sign all those documents. We call that ratifying, when both sides have signed. You're officially under contract on a home. We'll have a set period of time that you'll have a home inspection on the property. You do need to pay the home inspector at the time of inspection, and they will go through the house and assess it from top to bottom and make sure it is safe, livable, and any other little issues that would essentially be on like a honey-do list. If there's anything major that you don't want to deal with that you would rather the seller fix before you move in, then our next piece of paperwork is writing out all of the repairs that we're requesting and submitting that to the seller. All of that is negotiable, so there might be some conversations back and forth about what you guys can mutually agree on. And if you guys reach agreement, then the seller is responsible for fixing those repairs before we close. In the meantime, some other people on your team will be working. The closing attorney will have a file working on checking the background of the house, making sure the deed belongs to who it says, so that everything can be passed on to you without any issues. Your lender will also be working in the background, getting all of your paperwork and mortgage finalized. They will also order an appraisal. This is where an appraiser will go out to the house and decide what the value of the house is so that the lender can give you that amount of money for the house. During this time, you're just patiently waiting. You're not spending any money on credit cards. You're not making any big purchases or doing anything that would impact your credit. You're gonna tread real lightly during this under contract period so that nothing messes with what the lender is doing on their end. When it's time to close, we'll go back to the property, we'll walk through, we'll make sure everything looks good as you expected. All of the repairs that we agreed with the seller were all done. And then we'll go to the closing office, sit down with the attorney, and they'll walk you through all the paperwork to sign on their end. There'll be one big receipt of your entire purchase, kind of like a CVS receipt. They'll have all the numbers of the purchase price, your loan amount, what down payment you'll have, the fees from the lender, the fees from the attorney, and everything will line up across what you owe and what the seller is receiving. At the end of it, you own a house. I'll give you the keys, the attorneys will give you the deed to the house, and the lender will let you know when your first payment is due. It's not necessarily easy, but I don't think it's as convoluted as people think.